Welcome to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders on 1240 Radio WOMT.
And good morning, Lakeshore, and welcome back to Fine Living here on 1240 Radio WOMT each and every Monday morning with Jim Reif from Jim Reif Builders. Good morning, Jim.
Morning, Terry.
How are you, sir?
Well, I'm hoping winter's ending shortly.
Tell me about it, man. It's too cold. But hey, a good friend of mine reminded me that we can't shovel cold, so
That's a good point, yeah.
much rather have this than all the snow like out east or whatnot.
Correct.
But hey, Jim, we are talking about stones today.
Yes. We're going to talk about some exterior and interior stone applications.
All right. So looking at some of these brochures you gave me, and beautiful. I mean, these stones and what you can do are unbelievable here.
That's correct. Lots of choices out there for the consumer right now. Some of the newer stuff out there is more of a manufactured stone.
Okay, and that's what I'm looking at here.
Yeah, and that's factory made, so it does not come out of the earth like we you pick the field stones up.
But it looks completely real.
It looks very real. It's amazing how they transformed the industry. Years ago, it used to be called cultured stone.
Okay,
kind of looked a little artificial. Not anymore. Looks real authentic. Got a lot of neat things to go.
So what are one of the benefits of going maybe this route, the manufactured stone?
I guess the big benefit is cost savings.
Okay.
It's about 20 to 25% less than real stone.
Okay.
It goes on, and that's because of both labor and material costs, because it goes on relatively quicker.
Okay.
But you got to make sure you install it right, of course. But there's a lot of neat color options. And one of the other thing that I think is real neat is it's got a dry stack application process. So you could have the traditional look where you have the mortar joint, 3/8 to half an inch mortar joint around the stone, or you can dry stack it, which is becoming a very popular look, where you actually don't see any mortar. The stones are put tight together.
Okay.
Not every product can do that. Like a field stone would be harder to do that.
Sure.
But more of a lineal type, longer type stone.
Sure.
You can do that, and really, really nice.
Okay. Another product would be real stone.
That is correct. So the real stone comes out of the earth, whether it's a limestone that's fractured or blasted out, field stone in some applications, ledge stones, and a lot of neat colors. You can get weathered edges on them. Tumble look in cases where the edges are kind of broken. They actually put it in a big type barrel and roll it and tumble it. So some really neat things with that.
Awesome. Now, do you ever have to replace stone? I mean, like for siding, you may have to occasionally, but wood stone, I mean, does it last forever?
In a lot of cases, stone is pretty much a timeless product, we call it. So it gives you the feel of strength. It also is a timeless if it's done correctly with the architecture.
Okay.
So it's a very nice product in a lot of the older distinguished homes you see in the area.
Sure.
Have stone on them, and they look so great just because of how they were done properly.
Sure. And a lot of this can be indoor and outdoor. I see a lot of fireplaces here.
A lot of neat fireplaces. We're even doing some where we have an accent wall with stone in the house, and that's maybe where we use some of that thin veneers and such.
Sure. Now the last product is thin veneers.
Right, and so basically a thin veneer is still real stone, but instead of it being full thickness, like 4 to 5 inches thick, they actually cut it on a saw to make it thinner. And we use that in certain applications, maybe interior applications where you can't you have the extra weight.
Okay.
Or on a chimney. Something like that, again, where a weight could be an issue.
So it is still a real stone.
It's still a real stone. They just saw it thinner instead of making it the typical 4 to 5 inches thick.
Okay. Jim, a lot of great information. Definitely encourage the listeners to check this out. Just kind of looking through some of these brochures here, and I see you have a picture of my house you're going to build me soon.
Your dream house? Yep, you betcha. So, and we're available anytime to build that for you.
Perfect. I'll get right on that. Jim, where can people go?
They can look us up on the web, JimReifBuilders.com. We've got an awesome website. I think you'd enjoy it. You can check us out on Facebook or give us a call if that's easier for you. 684-6899.
Jim, we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Terry.
Thanks for listening to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders, the leader in new construction and remodeling here on the Lakeshore. Let their vision enrich your lifestyle. Tune in again next week for another episode of Fine Living on 1240 Radio, WOMT. To learn more, visit JimReifBuilders.com.